Hola! What's good, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the best UFC fighters from every country. Which fighter is the best representation of your country? This video is a part 2, so if your country isn't mentioned here, go watch it. I'll have a link to it in the description. And remember, if you think I forgot someone, let me know down in the comments, alright? First country, Ireland. Not much I need to say about these two guys, alright? We have Ian Garry and Conor McGregor. 2016, Conor McGregor was a different breed of fighter, and he's obviously would be the representation at that point. But this guy hasn't fought since the last Dustin Poirier fight, since his fight with Cowboy Cerrone. It has to be Ian Garry. Ian Garry's in the best division in the UFC, the welterweights. He's been competing. He's been super active. He beat Protez. He fought and lost against Shafkat. He beat Bilal. Who did he beat? Bilal, Protez, he lost against Shafkat. He's beat Neil Magny. He's beat, did he go against Jeff Neal? Like, he's just been super active in the welterweight division. We don't really like Ian Garry around these parts. I'm sure you guys aren't really the biggest fans of Ian Garry either. But you have to respect his activity, and he definitely is the third best well-rounded fighter in the welterweight division. I think it's Islam, Shafkat, and Ian Garry. Now that Shafkat's gone, he's probably the best matchup against Islam, because what else do you expect? Do you want Protest to try to fluke Islam? That's not going to happen. Islam's just going to take him down. Morales maybe has a better chance, but you know how it is. And then, of course, the second choice for the Irish fighters, Conor McGregor. If he came back and got a win in the UFC, this guy would be number one in Irish fighters right now, because he's just a fucking he's an attention magnet. This guy brings in all the eyes. He made the UFC what it is today. Yeah, man, enough glaze. Enough fucking McGregor glaze, but you guys know how good this guy is. Next, Ukraine. So we have actually a lot of real good guys in Ukraine. These two prospects down here, Daniel Lutsenko and Yaroslav Amorsov, these guys are fucking killers. But let's start with Nikita Krylov. We all know Krylov, our favorite jobber in the UFC. He's been in the promotion since 2013, and he's fought nearly everyone there is to fight in the light heavyweight division, bruh. He's fought Ovince St. Preux, Jan Blachowicz, Teixeira, Johnny Walker, Ankalaev, Paul Craig, Gustafsson, Ozdemir, Reyes, etc., etc. He's fought fucking everybody. He wins some, he loses most of them, but man, he's the best Ukrainian fighter given his longevity and his strength of schedule. He has a lot of tough matchup he's gone against, alright? Daniel Lutsenko, the guy on the right here. He's really good, bro. Give this guy a couple years, he's going to be representing Ukraine for sure, alright? 13-2 record, currently on an 8-fight win streak, and the last 2 fights in the UFC have been decision wins, right? He had a war in his last fight, but he pulled it out, bro. This guy's super fast, has a lot of heart. And this is what there is to be expected against these Ukraine guys, because they have a lot of heart. Look where they come from, bro. Ukraine, always at war. They've been at war with Russia for who knows how long at this point. Yeah, man. Shout out to all my fellas from Ukraine. Stay strong over there, guys. Come on. Let's keep it going. Yaroslav Amosov. Yaroslav is a crazy prospect, right? He's coming over from Bellator now, and he's a 29-1 record. That's fucking nasty, bro. That's crazy. That's Islam record right there, you know? He came into the UFC, slammed Daniel Magny with one of the nastiest anaconda chokes I've ever seen. I love the way he traps the arm. That's how I like to do my anaconda chokes when I'm rolling, at my white belt level. But man, he just has really, really good front chokes. I love watching this guy fight, and when he gets to the ground, this guy's going to be hunting for that submission. If you look at his record, he loves that submission as much as we love that submission. He has 12 fucking wins by submission, and 6 of those are by either Darce or Anaconda. 5 Anacondas, right? That's fucking insane. Getting that same choke 5 times, definitely his favorite choke, alright? Next, Nigeria. My brothers. Israel Adesanya is the best Nigerian fighter in the UFC right now. It's really a washed-off competition with him and Usman. We all know Israel, former middleweight champion, second best middleweight of all time, right behind Anderson Silva, in my opinion, right? If you have Anderson Silva disqualified because of the steroids, and that's also acceptable. But Israel Adesanya is fucking great. He has that win over Pereira as his last win. He's had really tough competition. He lost against Strickland, he lost against DDP, but those are real killers in the middleweight division. He lost against Imavov. All the guys he's lost to, they're all really justifiable losses, in my opinion. And even earlier in his career, I think it was 2019, he went up and challenged for the double belt against Jan Blachowicz, and he lost that fight, but Jan Blachowicz was really good. He was 35 at that time, still in his prime. Man, Israel Adesanya, I know he's kind of washed, But I have him against Joe Pyfer coming up. I think he's going to win that fight. He's going to come back, and he's still going to be the best Nigerian fighter. As we know, Usman is great, you know. Again, second best welterweight. These Nigerians are like the second best of all time, no? Second best welterweight behind GSP. Had a really good run. Beat Masvidal twice. Beat Leon Edwards on the come up. Damian Maia has a bunch of great wins, right? But he's just washed. Like, he beat Buckley by like smudge decision. And that was really just like a technical issue on Buckley's part. That was literally a skill issue. If Buckley had trained like takedown defense or getting up from takedowns, Usman has no knees. He has like no power left in the hands. He had that crazy scrap with Hamza, but at this point, man, it's really like he's no longer the representative of Nigeria. Same thing with Sadiq Youssef. He's not really on a good streak. You know, he's lost 4 out of his last 6, but before that he was undefeated in the UFC. Like, we have to put some respect on his name, right? And like these other 2 Nigerians, he has great power in his hands, good combination boxing, like really good finishing instincts. But he's just not as good as them, man. He's on a bad streak. He's lost way more than either Usman or Adesanya, and he hasn't had the level of competition. Like, he hasn't had to go against Leon Edwards or like Colby Covington in his prime, Masvidal, like nothing like that, man. He is in a good division though, the lightweight division. There's a lot of killers there. Next, the Netherlands. Not much. This is like slim pickings here. You know, I think back in the day, was Bas Rutten Dutch? I think he was Dutch, right? He's really good, one of the pioneers of MMA, you know. But at this point, we have Reiner de Ridder as the sole participant, the sole representative of the Netherlands. He fights this weekend, co-main event against Caio Borralho. Well, actually, when this video releases, he will already have fought, because I'm releasing this like Tuesday. So he fought this weekend. Let me know how it goes. I had my prediction of him losing. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's my prediction. We know this guy, he has real good submissions. On the feet, he's super, like, unusual. Like, we liken him to, like, a DDP, like, AliExpress version of DDP, right? He's really unusual on the feet. He can make it goofy. On the floor, he's elite. He has a lot of submission wins. And he was pretty dominant over at 1, you know, when they were making him fight at his natural weight class with all that the water testing, the hydration testing. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of the only and the best fighter in the UFC right now from the Netherlands. He is good, though. Like, he is good. I rate Reiner de Ridder pretty highly. I just have to pick against him because of the cardio issues. I can't believe he lost that fight against Brendan Allen. And the fact he lost it, like, in that fashion, I have to pick against him, all right? Next, Mexico. Yair Rodriguez, followed by Raul Rosas Jr. and Brandon Moreno, okay? So if I had to rank these guys, I'd do Yair, number 1, Brendan, and then Raul Rosas. So, at this point in his career, it is Yair, okay? We've seen Brandon Moreno. He just lost to Loner Kavanaugh, who came in on short notice. Before that, he lost to Tatsuro Taira. It really does seem to be the end of Brandon Moreno as we knew him. If it wasn't for that, you know, 2-3 years ago, Brandon Moreno number 1. But at this point, Yair Rodriguez, I mean, he's higher up in the featherweight division. He's super inactive, you know, but he has that fight like pending against Diego Lopez. I think that should be his next fight. And he's a great striker. I don't know. I don't really like talking about this guy because this guy's fucking, like, he just infuriates me with his schedule. You can tell the UFC really likes him. They made him a custom fucking Mexico interim belt. Like, that's, how nasty is that, right? For this guy. I don't know. Has some good wins. Beat the Korean Zombie. Gave Max a hard fight. Gave Volk some issues on the feet. But, you know, Volk beat the fuck out of him like the goat he is. And yeah, man. Raul Rosas Jr., young, super young prospect. Not much to say about him. Took his first loss recently. But I think he's also fighting this weekend. So let me know in the comments how this goes. And I am picking him to win this fight against Rob Font. Although it's not looking too good, you know. Rob Font is going to be the favorite going into it. But I believe in Raul Rosas. I think he can learn a lot. He's still very, you know, his brain is still plastic. All the neurons adapting. Typical of a young lad, all right? Next, Poland. Mateusz Gamrot, Marcin Tybura, and Jan Blachowicz. Jesus Christ. Bro, this image is so sad to look at because all of these guys are washed. Gamrot, really good scrambles. Beat Armin Sarukian in kind of a robbery. Had a really close fight with Dan Hooker where he low-key got robbed. He's good, man. He has great wrestling, good control, but he's just not lethal. He has no power on the feet. The ground and pound isn't there. The submissions isn't there. He's just like a real like one-trick pony with the wrestling. And then Marcin Tybura is a fat fucking heavyweight, and Jan Blachowicz just passes prime. Like, at this point, this is what we're dealing with. If Jan Blachowicz, if this was 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, Jan Blachowicz would easily be number one. But it is what it is at this point. You know, Jan Blachowicz lost to Olberg. Kind of a close fight, you know. I think he lost to RoboCop as well. Like, it's just on a decline at this point in his career. But I love Jan Blachowicz, my favorite big Polish power man, all right? Next, Sweden, Jack Hermansson and Andreas Gustafsson. Jack Hermansson, we all know this guy from his fight with Strickland where Strickland put belt to ass. But Jack's actually pretty good in his prime. And he is still the best Swede we have in the UFC, all right? Above Andreas Gustafsson. And since the OG Gustafsson retired, the guy that fought Jones, what's his name, bro? Something Gustafsson. Oof, I forgot his first name. Whatever. Gustafsson. Since he retired, Jack Hermansson is the best fighter we have. He has a good guillotine with the arm in. We've seen a couple finishes. He has good ground and pound, but he just doesn't excel in any aspect of the fight. He's just like a good, durable blockhead. Like, that's just the best way to explain him. But he will always lose against a ranked fighter. Jack Hermansson will lose against ranked fighters above him, and he's probably going to lose against anyone that's pretty good. He's going to be like a gatekeeper of the division. And then Andreas Gustafsson, please bring the beard back. Andreas, you look like an egg, all right? I have a little bit of love for this guy in my heart. I remember this is the first time I ever picked a fighter without knowing anything about him. I saw the name, and I saw that he was fighting Chaos Williams, and I'm like, Chaos Williams is kind of ass. And maybe the Gustafsson name, you know, is going to carry him into something interesting, right? So I picked him, it worked out, and then he lost his next fight. All my homies, me and all my homies, we love Andreas Gustafsson, but he's just a blockhead, right? He's just a blockhead with heart. Love him though, all right? Next, Argentina. We love Argentinians on this channel, all right? Like I said in my last video, my physiotherapist is an Argentinian. He's like an Argentinian casual. You know, you have the British casuals, the fucking Aussie casuals. You have the Argentinian casuals too, bro. He was telling me, bro, I'm telling you, Kevin Vallejos, you know, he's real good. And he is, bro. He is. You look at the tape on this guy, he's a fucking dog. On the Contender Series, he gave Silva the best and hardest fight he's ever had. And even when Silva had him real bad, like he had him hurt bad in the second round, he recovered and came back. Great boxing, great high guard. Kind of reminds me of Ilia Topuria. Good counter punching, good attacks to the body. And he's really young, bro. He's like 23. I'm sure he can get in title contention. Like the next 3 years, I would be super shocked if this guy isn't like ranked top 5 in the featherweight division. It's not super stacked, bro. He can get there for sure. And Esteban Ribovic, what can I say that hasn't been said about this guy? This is probably one of the most exciting fighters, just like fight-wise, one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC. He had, in my opinion, fight of the year in 2024 in the Sphere against Zellhuber. It was fucking insane. These guys were killing each other in there. He actually won that fight. And this guy is a dog, man. Like, are all Argentinians just goated? Like, Kevin Vallejos, Esteban Ribovic, and Messi. Like, we're 3 for 3, bro. These guys are all goated, you know? Top 3 Argentinians of all time. We got to put Messi in there. Shout out the GOAT of football, all right? If you love Ronaldo, I'm sorry, but you're wrong, all right? Next, Armenia. So here is like, it's like number 1 and number 2 is there's a lot of distance between them, right? We all know Armin. He's the number 1 contender at lightweight, like justified, completely justified. Gave Islam a super tough fight in his debut, coming in on short notice. He beat Oliveira decisively. He beat Dan Hooker by submission, submitted Dan Hooker. He just beats these guys, you know. He beat Joel Alvarez, which is a good win. Now Joel is up at welterweight. He's just a legend, man. Like, we've seen this guy beat the fuck out of people in all of the promotions. He went over to Real American Freestyle Wrestling. He just had that fight with Giorgio Puelles. You know, they were slapping the fuck out of each other at the end. And yeah, he's really good, you know. Honestly, at lightweight, this is the best test for Ilya. I think it's Armin number 1 and Max Holloway number 2. And those are the only 2 guys that can really do anything to Ilya, in my opinion. Would I pick them over Ilya? No. But they can do something, all right? Edmund Shabazian. So as we know, there's a lot of distance between this guy and Armin, right? But he has good skills. He had a really good streak coming to the UFC, but then he ran into Derek Brunson, who beat his ass. Jack Hermansson won by decision, and then Imavov, right? And then later he had to fight Hernandez. Like, it was just a real bad luck of, like, you got a bunch of, like, good prospects or, like, good gatekeepers, right? But he's on a bit of a streak. You know, he's beat his last 3. He beat Dylan Budka, he beat Andrei Petrosky, and Andrei Muniz. He's won those 3, and he's only 28. So he has a lot to learn, right? This guy can still do something, bro. Like, it feels like he's been in the UFC forever, but he can still, you know, get stuff done. 28. He's still, in my opinion, a prospect, okay? So let's see what he's up to in these next years. And let's get onto the next country, all right? South Africa. The final country on this video. Dricus du Plessis, my GOAT, and Cameron Simon. So, Dricus. Middleweight. GOAT. I love Dricus du Plessis. I have him 3rd all-time at middleweight behind Adesanya and Anderson Silva. He beat Adesanya on his come-up. He beat Whitaker. He beat Strickland twice, which is actually crazy wins. They're aging super well. Like, this guy, we were seeing him against Brunson pulling, like, side control, bottom side control. We were wondering, this guy's cooked. He looked like he had shit cardio. Got his nose surgery. Cardio came all the way back. Beat the fuck out of Adesanya. Beat the fuck out of Whitaker. Literally knocked out Whitaker with a stiff jab. Like, great power, great wrestling, and just great physicality. This guy has the best physicality in the entire middleweight division. And he has the most heart, in my opinion. No, he lost to Hamza, but it wasn't for lack of heart. He was going the whole time. And last round, he got in the back of Hamza. I was screaming my lungs out. I remember I was cheering so hard. I wanted Dricus to get that sub so bad. But it is what it is. And Cameron Simon, it's a little bit of a tragic story into the UFC. He came from the regional scene. He was 9-0. He won the contract on the Dana White Contender Series. And then he's just got up against killers, all right? He went up against Christian Rodriguez, who's not too much of a killer, but he's pretty good. Payne Talbot, like fucking insane. And Malcolm Wellmaker, who we saw, he lost that fight against who was it? The jobber, the guy that works on the construction site. He lost that fight, but we know Wellmaker has a really good left hook, has a lot of power for the bantamweight division. So it's not really a big surprise that Cameron Simon got caught. He got caught bad. I remember seeing, like, he fell over all sideways, like, that shit looked real bad, all right? If this guy hadn't been put up against 3 of the great prospects in a row, we'd be talking about him way different, all right? He's still super young at 25. I'm not worried about Cameron Simon's career. I'm sure he can do better. I'm sure he can come back and do good in the bantamweight division, all right? Thank you guys for watching. What do you think of the guys I have picked out for every country? Have I missed your country? Check out part 1 of this series, okay? Maybe I'll make a part 3 if we get requests of a country missing. And yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you in the next one, alright? I'm going to go buy a pencil or something. Ciao.